Welcome into Dumke Field at Westminster for the boys 6A lacrosse semifinal, as we've got our first 6A semi of the day, a rematch of a semi from last year. The number 2 team out of Region 1, Farmington Phoenix, taking on the top-ranked Corner Canyon Chargers. As Farmington starting here early, trying to make a statement and a save made. We're going to introduce this game. First, let me introduce my partner. Got Chad Wells with us here today.
Hey, hello.
Chad, welcome in.
Thank you. Great to be here with you, Dane.
It's good to have you. We got a good one here. First, we'll start little clock malfunction. We'll get that trued up for you. Corner Canyon in the whites, Farmington in the blacks, and this is the Chargers with possession and a shot and a goal.
Rhett King gets a ground ball, takes it down the middle, and buries it in the back of the net.
Rhett King, he can play between the pipes. He can also play on the offensive end and starts off Corner Canyon with an early goal. This game last year, semifinal, Corner Canyon got off to a huge lead in that one. Really took the contest out of it. Took all the fun out, really.
Yeah, it was a different game last year. This year I expect it to be a lot more close, much tighter matchup between both these programs.
We'll talk about starting goalies today. Starting goalie for Farmington is number 29, Brandon Barry. He's got a .631 save percentage on the year. Meanwhile, starting goalie today for the Chargers, number 10, Mitch Phippen. The senior's been fantastic. He was the defensive player of the year in Region 2. He's got a .670 save percentage. He's been fantastic for the Charger D. As they win this face-off, and this is Ren Nielsen. Want to let you know the clock you see on our screen, unofficial. At times we start it early, stop it late, that sort of thing. Keep it trued up with the official clock here on the field.
Wheatley bringing it in, looking for a dodge down the alley, not there.
Yeah, good D there, nice
Tough
slide by Farmington. Talk about Farmington doesn't have the top-end scorers. Corner Canyon does. They're going to need their defense to step up big because this Corner Canyon offense does have guys to find the back of the net.
Muramoto scooping up the loose ball on that one.
And he's one of them. 58 goals this year for Kason Muramoto. Second on the team behind the freshman, O.J. Ika, who's got 67 coming into this one. In fact, that's good for number 2 in the state for the freshman, O.J. Ika.
Yep, Corner just setting up their offense, trying to get a little patience. Yeah, here's the ball movement.
Here's Dutton. He'll take a wind-up. That was wide. And a good chase there, won by Farmington.
Nice backup there by Farmington. Good hustle in the corner. You're going to see a lot of hustle out of this Farmington defense today. They are aggressive and they are ferocious.
Here comes DeAnda across the middle. He's got a little bit of a surge, looking for a shot and a goal. Good response for Farmington. I was going to ask, how important is it for Farmington to get something positive early, given the way this game started last year?
Absolutely. That equalizer right there just evens the playing field, makes the game feel right back. Where it's just such an even matchup, where it's not going to be a runaway this year. It's going to be a tight one.
We talk about these two teams. Farmington, the number 4 seed. They were in position in that Region 1. In fact, I said they were the number 2 team. They were co-region champs, I believe, up in Region 1. I think that was a 3-way region championship. As this one possessed by Corner Canyon. Face-offs will be pivotal today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup on the face-offs between the Phoenix and Chargers. Two great Fogos, and I expect this to be a great battle all day back and forth.
It's possessed by Free. Ashton was a first-team all-region player for the Chargers. Battle up high that Farmington wins.
Loose ball. Yeah. Ball back down, picked back up by Ren Nielsen. Settling it for the Chargers, letting the offense work its way back onto the field.
Corner Canyon had 8 players that were first-team all-region in Region 2. 8.
It's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
It says a lot about Coach Ika and his program that he's been able to develop over the years.
Yep. This one loose, chased by Brown. And maintained here. Here's Muramoto. Tyson trying to work against Coates. That was a matchup you were interested in, where they would throw Dante Coates, and he's trying to defend Muramoto.
Yep, Dante Coates, number 2, is a guy to watch in this game. He's a ferocious defensive player, and he was all over the Chargers last year, and this year it looks like he's going to match up on Muramoto.
Here comes Oldroyd. Plays over, trying to dice through. Bouncer there, taken care of by Barris.
He lost some steam on that because the defensive player had a nice stick on the ball.
Boy, that's a great clear by Barris, and here comes TJ May. Worked over, angle shot, And that fended off.
Saved by Mitch Phippen there.
Great job there by the senior keep. Possessed here by Wade. Cameron Wade working up. Excuse me, that's 19.
That's Will Perry.
Yep.
Will Perry working on a clear.
Coates with it.
Pass gets away from him, picked up by Coates. Now he's on the move on the clear, on transition.
Steps in there. He is a big physical kid, Dante Coates is. His brother Dom is one of the top scorers for this Farmington Phoenix squad.
Last year, Coates number 2, Dante, was coming into his, he's a junior coming into his own. This year he's a senior. He's put on some size.
Yeah.
He's big and strong and fast.
He and Dom are both first-team all-region players up in Region 1. Of course, our other semifinal is Region 1 versus Region 1. Davis-Fremont. That game will be after this one.
Yeah, that's going to be an excellent game, too. I
It'll
expect that to be a barn burner after.
They split their regular season matchup. It should be a really good one. This is the aforementioned Dom. Playing over a bit of a run, wind up, and that was wide, backed up.
Little heat, little white outside. Definitely off cage on that one.
Here's Kai Lovett to start. Coming around, the shot is wide and
he does
backed
a
up again.
Cage roll from the our left side, but just not there. Engel was a little tough on that one.
Here's Milne. Gives it to Bynan. Bynan, boy, just a freshman. That's a big freshman. Coates. Kai had 45 goals this year to lead Farmington.
He's their biggest threat.
Yep.
For
Bashaw.
sure, by far.
Well, that's a tough pass. Looking for Levitt.
Picked up by the Phoenix.
Little lane here. Shot save made by Phippen. He's dialed in early.
He's dialed in. He was tracking that shot well. Had his stick all over it.
Corner bringing it up.
Smooth clear for the Chargers on that one.
Yeah, Tanner Adamson, the long pole.
This Charger team is very young. Number 23 is a freshman. Number 7 is a freshman. Number 50, he is a sophomore. They've got some young guys on this offense this year.
Yeah, they do. Well, and again, some of them are top scorers in the state, speaking of number 7.
Yep. Ika's quite a player, but they're anchored by number 20, Kaisa Muramoto, the senior.
Yeah, experienced.
For the Chargers, very experienced.
Great for him last year as well. Here's a rip. That was just shy of the post.
Pierce to Gracie, just wide.
Good rip there.
You know what I like is both these teams are being really aggressive out of the start, off the start, and looking for their play nonstop. I mean, it's good action.
It's just the first quarter. It's not quite as physical as our previous game. Is that one? Oh, that was snuck in. I thought Barris had a piece, but it was the goal from Muramoto.
Muramoto, a little bit of a question mark shot there. Whips it around from the side. What's nice about that shot is when Kyson does that, when you see a lot of shooters with that question mark type maneuver, it's hard for the goalie to track the ball because he can't see their stick. It's hidden behind their body from his viewpoint. So sometimes it comes out quick and the goalie just can't track onto it.
And back here, 2-1 the lead for the Chargers. Dane's a really good face-off guy for the Chargers, winning this one. 6:14 on the years, he brings it up.
Yeah, these face-offs, it looked like they've been pretty close so far,
trading
back and forth in this game.
How about Dane starting from X here? Coming around, shot and a save by Barris.
Dang swings it around, not there. Good save by the goalie.
Got a good look.
He definitely got a good look, but it just, he didn't have the speed on it like normal. The goalie was able to definitely follow that and lock that one down.
Jacobson setting up for the Phoenix as we're inside of 5 to go here, opening quarter.
I like how the Phoenix are constantly looking for the lane and the shot. They're not just settling, waiting for all the offense to come on, but they're actually aggressively pursuing the cage.
That one lost by Smith, able to regather it. Cole Smith has a step.
Oh, shot.
Boy, and interesting, Tanner Adamson's kind of hanging back there defensively as an extra guy.
Yeah, you're right. It's, I don't think they've transitioned everybody on.
Here's the shot, looking for that far post, saved away by Phippen. Well, this one loose, batted, and we've got a crease violation.
Yep, in the crease. I'll tell you, both goalies looking great from the get-go.
Yeah, they are.
Unbelievable.
That one deflected out of the air, but still found its way through. Possessed by King. A little bit of a wind.
I like how the Farmington defense is just, or the offense there, the attacks are playing them all the way out to the midfield, which is nice. They're chasing the ball, they're hustling. There's a lot of hustle on both sides.
Yeah. Egan here back behind goal for the Chargers. Corner Canyon has not lost a playoff game since this sport became sanctioned.
That's incredible. I didn't know that.
Class A champs and 6A, the only 6A champs.
It's an impressive stat. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Tell you though, Farmington's been in the mix the last several years. They are really an improving program.
They are.
Getting stronger and stronger every year.
Coach Taylor's done a great job with that program. He was the Region 1 Coach of the Year. Coming around and scoring.
Hey.
Good take there for corner.
Dutton just does a cage roll. Nice cage roll. Defense was a little late to slide there, and he's able to find a crease and puts it in the back of the net.
That's a freshman with the goal.
Jacobs and Danes on the draw.
Campton Dutton also takes faceoffs.
That's impressive.
Showing some good versatility in his game.
Yeah, Jacobson and Danes back at face-off.
Oh, Farmington thought they had that one left. Dane's fighting for it. Procedure will give it to the Phoenix.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was interference call there, or a hold. Phoenix come away with it.
Working ahead
Looking
here.
to get back on the board.
Bynum. Trying to get that
There's
edge,
the right
looking
alley.
for a shot. What a finish.
Wow, what a great finish.
From one freshman to the other.
Kai Benyon goes right down the alley, right side alley, and he just says, I'm going to take this myself to the cage, and sure enough, finds pay dirt.
His 46th of the year.
That was a nice shot. That goal brings it really close once again. It's 3-2. It's a one-goal game. It's anybody's.
Good take there by Bynum, and having the confidence that he could get that edge and get enough room to get a shot off.
Yeah,
I don't see many freshmen play with that kind of a mindset.
That was gutsy. I mean, he definitely said, I'm going to take this alleyway and finish it.
Battle here on the
Farmington
turf.
continues to get that kind of play out of him. They're going to do just fine this afternoon.
Yep. Here comes DeAnda. This Corner Canyon team, they do have 15-2 on the year. Lost to Brighton. Lost to Olympus, I believe.
We got a ward on that. Possession change over to Corner Canyon.
2.5 to go here.
Adamson working on a clear.
Yeah, space here for King.
You know what I see is Corner Canyon being very patient on their offense.
Yeah.
They're not attacking as much as I thought they would in the first quarter, but they're leading the game and it's working. So,
well, and some of it might just be like a feel it out type of a thing too, right?
Yep, I think they're trying to feel out the game. You know, the flow, letting their players work back on so they can get in their offensive series.
Oldroyd takes us behind the cage. Inside of 2 to go here, opening quarter. Trying to get that edge. Muramoto.
Muramoto's looking for a matchup, but I'll tell you, that's Coates. He's a tough, long deep hole. He's a big, strong kid, stronger than last year, like I said. That's a matchup to watch today.
This Farmington team, they do look big, don't they?
They look pretty good size,
The last couple of years, it feels like Corner Canyon's always walked in. They've been bigger, more.
Faster,
they just
stronger.
look bigger, right?
Yeah, and this year
this looks like it's kind of even.
It does. That coach is a big boy. Of course, his dad played football at BYU, so it's a legacy family. But he's definitely someone to be reckoned with.
Try to lead this for DeAnda.
Now that the Charger defense is starting to settle in, they're pressuring the ball pretty well.
Yeah,
for the most part.
1 minute left here, first quarter. Farmington could tie this up. Little lane, Milne. Good slide there by the Charger D. Here's Smith. Coates.
Coates looking to equalize the game. He's just really trying to find a little bit of space. But a nice shutdown there by Perry.
Yeah, he was right with him.
Yep, doesn't give an inch.
Vashaw has a lane. Boy, that shot, that's a tough angle.
He pushed him out. Wade pushed him out just enough so he lost his angle and that ball goes wide.
Yeah, maybe got a step too deep. 20 seconds left.
Yep. That's good defensive play on that last one. We're under 20. Will they equal the game?
Coates, wind up. Oh, boy, that's why you wear a helmet right there.
Oh, that wind up ricocheted all the way across midfield.
Yeah.
Chargers will have the ball with 8 seconds.
Kind of confused here. Yeah, Chargers will start it. Feels like they tried to start it twice already. There's 7 on the clock.
They lost a second on that reset.
Final seconds. Muramoto at the horn. Saved by Barris. That might have hit the post.
Muramoto trying to get a 2-goal gap there. Fires a rocket in, but it was saved. What a save job.
Good look. But it is Phoenix, the Farmington Phoenix, hanging around 3-2. The top-seeded Chargers out in front after 1. Looking back, start of the second quarter. Dane Stewart, Chad Wells with you. Chad, we're 1 quarter in the books. Corner came with the lead. Anything stand out to you through the first 12 minutes?
A lot of fireworks in the first quarter. That was fantastic action back and forth. Both teams going hard. Everyone hustling to the ball. What you'd expect, but not a blowout one way or the other. It's a great matchup today.
It's a little slanted on the scoreboard, but it doesn't feel like a team is decidedly better than the other. It's been back and forth. Each team has had their opportunities, yeah?
Yes, feels very equal, both teams. Very much the same.
Oh, nice cut. Hey, that's a well-run play. Ika finding Muramoto for his second of the game.
Beautiful assist, feed right through the heart of the defense. Finds Muramoto on the backside, buries it at the back of the net. Wow, what a play.
Boy, it's I know this is easier said than done. 20-7. You just can't lose him. You lose Muramoto. He finds his way behind the defense in front of the cage.
Yeah,
like
he snuck around the backside of the defense. They lost location of where he was at, and there it is. Assist and goal.
And how about Ika? We talk about all the goals he scores. That's a great look for him. Add a dime to his stat line.
That kid's a freshman.
I know.
Unbelievable. Playing like a senior.
Offensive player of the year in the region.
And he's
second in the state in scoring. And he's a freshman.
He's a freshman. He looks like a veteran out there.
He's going to be a problem the next couple of years.
His poise and his comfort level on the field are pretty amazing.
You're going to see him in a lot of record PDFs by the time his career's done.
Absolutely.
Here's Coates.
You know, this Farmington team's got 3 good offensive threats, really solid threats. And Chargers have got to do the same thing. They've got to keep an eye on all 3. Otherwise, you lose sight on one, there's an assist, boom, goal before you know it.
Bynum working up Vashaw. Trying to break down Wheatley. That skip was deflected out. Corner with it.
Defense breaks it up. That was Perry.
I had someone tell me earlier, they're like, if the Corner Canyon defense can find its rhythm, this team can be just as dominant. We've seen a couple now stops. Coming the other way,
Fast
and the
break.
score. 21. Defense to offense.
Michael
Captain
Wheatley. Yeah, Michael Wheatley just burying that in the back of the net. What a quick play. What a transition goal.
Thank you. I said Dutton. I thought it was 27. It was 21 Wheatley.
Was Wheatley on a nice transition.
That's why we like having a pair, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now a little bit of separation here for the Chargers. We said that first quarter is kind of back and forth.
Well, those transition goals are dangerous. You know, you get a lot of movement, you get a mismatch, you got numbers coming down on offense, and the next thing you know, you're scoring quick.
Face-off win for the Phoenix. Oh, that one too tall. It'll run out.
A little charged up on that one, and the ball got away from him on that pass. Ball will go to the Chargers.
Adamson working with Fippen.
It's a very nice
Got
clear
to
on
touch
that
it
one.
in. There you go.
That's Ashton Brown with it.
Yeah, sophomore.
Sophomore, another youngster on this team. When you consider how many upperclassmen they had the last 2 years,
Yeah,
and what this young team's doing, it's really impressive.
it is. Yeah, for those who thought it might be a quote-unquote down year because of youth, bad news.
You heard a lot of, well, it's going to be a rebuild year for the Chargers. Not quite so.
Well, they did lose 2 games, so, you know.
They weren't undefeated.
Scooped up here by Brown. Ashton will work up here to Larson.
This thing, you look at this roster, there's so many new names on this roster compared to the last year and the year before. A lot of youngsters.
I'm glad there's Muramoto and Fippen. That helps.
Yep.
But everyone else.
The 2 veterans, really.
Yeah.
Wheatley was there last year.
He was.
Doing some things at Oldroyd.
Yep. Boy, Muramoto, I don't know how he got that back.
He is just quick.
Oh,
he loses the handle. See, there's Coates once again. The Coates-Muramoto matchup is impressive because Dante Coates will he'll give no room and space. He's going to ride him. He's going to make it really tough on Muramoto.
Farmington bringing it ahead. Oh, tough pass. Can't keep it in. Turnovers. Can't have them.
Turnovers starting to plague both teams a little bit here in the second quarter. First quarter was a lot more clean. This quarter, maybe the jitters kind of settling in. You burn a little bit of adrenaline, right?
Well, some of it might be that, corners settling in too.
Yep, both settling in nicely, or trying to at least.
Leggett bringing it up. We got a timeout being taken.
A.J. Leggett.
Timeout, Chargers. They've got a 5-2 lead here with 8.5 to go in the opening half.
Each year, the Utah High School activities.
Welcome back. 5-2 Chargers in this 6A semi.
DeGrace will bring it out of the timeout for the Chargers.
Muramoto got to step around Coates. See that long pull taking Hacks and Barris with a nice stop.
See, I told you that's a great matchup for today. And the length of Coates is making it a lot tougher for Muramoto to find his looks and his angles.
And Deanda coming across again. He's got a lane. Deanda, the shot. And that was just off target.
He lets that one fly.
Those are ones, if you're Farmington, you'd love to see finish, right?
Yep, you'd like to see a finish, but he had some good heat on that. They
He
just got to
did.
keep shooting. If you're Farmington, you got to keep shooting and getting shots on goal.
Well, and I think that's the key is get a shot on goal. We've seen a couple turnovers. It's allowed short possessions, back to corner. Got to take advantage of opportunities.
That's been the difference, is shot on goal.
Dominic with a riser.
There's another wide one a little bit. They've got to tighten up their window and get those shots on goal to make things happen.
You could hear that hit the pad from here. That one had some velocity to it.
Yeah, I heard that. That definitely made a big thud, and it was moving. That was a laser.
That was a laser. Milne. Here's Dom. Oh, tough angle. And backed up.
Once again, the deep hole pushing him out just off his shot enough to disrupt his angle on that one.
From behind goal. Oh, good cross there, but couldn't get it on frame on the look from Egan.
Levitt going for an angle, 17, didn't have it. Defense is collapsing over. They're sliding well. They're sliding quick enough to make it really challenging and difficult for Farmington to get it in the goal. And Fippin's loving the goalie. Fippin is loving the way his defense is playing right now.
Here comes Fippin.
Yeah, Fippin on a clear across midfield. Is he going to shoot?
Fippin, the look and the save by Barris.
Now you got an open net. That's the only problem.
If you can take advantage of it. That deflected. It'll be wide.
Woo, that was close.
Did you hear about the old Brighton?
Yeah, the Brighton Park City game was.
Park City, overtime, silly enough. Had that goal as the game winner.
Well, Fippin's deep holes were smart enough to slide over and try to protect the goal.
Yeah. Corner looking for another opportunity here as Wade will peel this back. Of course, that'll be a rematch. That'll be our 5A state championship on Friday. Park City Brighton, part 2.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic.
It'll be great.
So excited for that game. That's out in Harriman, correct?
Correct. Zions Bank Stadium.
Yep, that's a great location. What a venue.
And we had a whistle here. Goal came off, so we'll just get that.
Cage slid back a little, so the referee's having them adjust it. Get that thing back in position.
We don't have the moorings of ice hockey, so we got to just slide it on the turf.
I was just going to say, do they got to clean out the ice and stick it back down the hole and lock it in?
You'd have some soccer fans be mighty upset with that. 6 minutes to go here, first half. Nielsen coming around. Sends up, shot.
Wheelie.
Hit off the post. Here comes Farmington. A surge from Wallace.
Quick transition because that deflection popped right out to the top.
Boy, you had Jacobson right down that alley. Couldn't get it to him.
Missed him. Didn't see him through the traffic.
And here's Levitt.
It's so much easier for us fans up top to look and see an angle when they don't on the field is different.
Milne, was looking right to the middle.
middle.
Had Egan there.
Possession stays with the Phoenix.
Yep.
They're getting a lot of good ground balls.
The shot working back over with Milne. And we'll get a timeout here taken by the Phoenix.
What they're going to need, what the Phoenix are going to need in this game to stay in it is those second and third chances on offense, right? The deflection, they get the ground balls, they get the rebounds, so they can put it in the back of the net. As long as they're playing and getting second and third and fourth chances on offense, they're going to be able to stay in this game.
Well, you talked about what Corner Canyon was doing defensively of bringing that help as they were working from behind the cage. So if they're going to bring that, you don't get those close shots, then how do you get your offense going? I mean, is that something where when that slide comes over, you look for maybe a quick pass out and a longer shot?
Yes, you're looking for a little bit longer shot. A lot of times, too, if you can pull a double team, there's going to be someone else open out there on the offense, right? If you pull a double down low, they overslide, you can look back door around the backside and find the open man, and that's the key. They've got to get a little bit quicker ball movement if you're the Phoenix to find that open position or that person when that defense is sliding.
They've had some looks, haven't been able to get some on cage. We've seen some high, some wide. The goals from Bynum and from Deanda, but Dom hasn't scored yet. Milne hasn't scored yet. Levitt hasn't scored yet for the Phoenix. Meanwhile, for Corner Canyon, feels like this game's starting to settle in kind of how they want it, right? Their defense is able to take down some of the shooters, and they're getting some good looks.
Yep, they're starting to pull away a little bit. They're getting good looks. They're giving, when they have the ball on offense, they're giving their defense plenty of rest time. That's one thing I worry about Farmington in the second half is will the defense get tired from the play in the first half.
5:14 left. Farmington starting it. See what they have out of the timeout.
As you know, in lacrosse, possession is everything.
Yep. Milne playing back to X. Here's Coates. Trying to get that defense moving.
Farmington definitely moving the ball, picking up the pace a little bit here.
Nice job by Free there, pushing that down below the cage. Good recovery by Bynum.
See, he swings it when the defense shifts. Takes the shot. Not a bad look. Should have put a little bit more on it if he could have,
but you try to change the angle. That's a good look. His corner running the other way.
Oh, what a
big save! Big save from Barris.
By Barris. Zaharis had the look down the alley, down the middle on the transition, just couldn't get it past him.
That could have been a huge momentum play. This one jarred loose. Corner back on it.
The referees are letting them play. I like it. Feels a little more East Coast-ish out here.
Yeah, we didn't have a penalty in the 5A semi prior to this. We haven't had a penalty yet in this one.
It's incredible. Actually, they're letting them play.
They are letting them play.
I like this style of lacrosse a little bit.
And for me, if you're consistent, have no problem with it.
Yep. If you're consistent both ways, it's good lacrosse.
4 to go. Sent up with Brown. Back behind goal, Brown. Trying for the dump off. And our first flag of the game.
First flag in a
while. Did that score? Yes, it did.
That's a goal.
A delayed call there. The goal will count.
Brown's assist right over the middle, bounces it in there, picked up and buried.
And the indication was a slash there.
Cameron Craig buries that. He picks up the loose pass, the bounce pass. I didn't see the flag. I was watching the shot there. We definitely got our first flag of the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be waved off, though, with a goal.
They pointed like this was going to be served. Yep.
Is he going in?
Yep.
Non-releasable? Yes, non-releasable. 1 minute.
So our first flag of the game. And Corner Canyon going to be a man up here with a 6-2 lead.
6-2 lead. It looked like it was the referee put his hands together like a non-releasable, but I'm not quite sure.
I thought he left him wide. I thought he was indicating it was a good goal, but I'm not positive about that. We had player challenge here. Farmington.
Yeah, they're going to reset the face-off. It almost looked like he went early, but the referee's resetting it.
Important face-off here. Fremont with the win.
Oh, that was critical for Fremont to get that ball.
Your man down for a minute. Jacobs able to win it.
Now they just got to kill it.
Jacobs, little lane, going to take the shot. That was wide.
Boy, you hope it gets backed up if it doesn't go in the net.
You hope that's backed up.
Especially when you're a man down and you're trying to kill a penalty.
I love it. Working back up. About another 40 seconds on that penalty.
You know, think about high school, there is no shot clock. So you can kind of hold on to that ball. You can kill off penalties. You can do a lot and just settle in your offense.
I know a lot of coaches would love for a shot clock to come. I think it's coming.
I think it's coming too.
It came in basketball. I think it'll come here.
It will definitely change the game.
Yes, it will.
A lot of factors in the game. It makes it, I think, a lot more exciting.
It does. It does.
You know, you got a 1-goal lead late in the game. You just can't sit on the ball. You got to play ball.
Correct. Here's Levitt. And Farmington back to even strength.
Adamson playing some tough D.
Ducking
Levitt
underneath.
trying to find space.
Boy, what a physical back down.
Wow.
Fippen didn't know where that was.
Boy, these refs are really letting them play today.
Yes, they are. Fippen looking for
is
the
under
clear.
attack.
Woo! Giving up.
He's out of net for a second. They recover.
Bynum looking in front. What a goal. Wow.
We got some fireworks, folks. I mean, these teams are going hard.
Here's the physicality we were alluding to earlier. It's ramping up
it's
now.
Definitely a do-or-die game, right? You lose, you go home, but, man, they are leaving it on the field.
Timeout, 2 minutes to go.
Love to see these guys going at it.
Wow. We'll step aside. Final 2 minutes of this first half. When we come back, Farmington will have it. Welcome back. 2 to go. Dean Stewart, Chad Wells. Farmington will have it. They haven't scored in the second quarter. Speaking of the Phoenix, where do you look here offensively to try to get a late one?
Well, I think you got to get Dom going. Milne's got to get going more. They've got the man at – no, it's equal. It's even, that's right.
Jacobs.
You know, that's the other thing I was telling you earlier over the break is the physicality is increasing in this game. So the ref's got to be a little careful that it doesn't get out of hand. And they don't let too much ride.
Yep. Milne.
But I like the level of play.
It's been fun.
There's a rip from Milne.
Yeah, backed up here.
You know, if he would just take another step or two into the net, that's that much tougher to defend.
And that's where –
a little far out on that.
I mean, when you talk about how much Corner Cane has been kind of congesting in their defense, when you kind of set that tone early, well, now you maybe are more apt to take some of those long ones out.
There we go. There's a deep ball.
Scored.
Finds the back of the net.
Yeah, Kai Bynum with his first of the game.
Bynum, he just let it rip, and it was a low trajectory, and it was like 5-hole, 6-hole, and it was hard to track.
That was one. I don't want to say this to come across negative. With how Fippen has played today, he's been great, made some big saves. I'm surprised that one beats him because how far out it was.
Well, I don't want to make any excuses for Fippen, but I'll tell you, when you have the shot coming from that far out, there's a lot of your players are shading the ball.
That's fair. Yep, that's fair.
And it's hard to see through it. There's so much traffic, it's hard to track the ball.
They do go low, and Farmington able to find the back of the net here late in this first half. A face-off here, scooped up by King.
Farmington right back in it, just down 3 goals here in the first half.
And we've got a timeout by Corner, recognizing 1:06 to go. Would love to have a little more separation. So
Smart
Coach Ika.
timeout by Coach Ika. You definitely know he's looking to set something up here to get the last shot of the half. And he's usually great at drawing things up.
We're going to step aside, but I'll just tell you here, watch out for O.J. Ika when we come back. 1 to go.
All right.
1:06 to go. Charger possession. I kind of gave you my answer. I say look for O.J. Ika here. What say you, Chad Wells?
Well, it's going to be Ika or Muramoto, I think.
Pretty safe answer.
Well, Muramoto's up top, and Coates is down low, so they're not on each other. Yeah, Kyson's going to he's going to try to get a dodge here, it looks like.
Running start there, feeds to Ika. The shot and goal.
Well, there you go.
Hey, I got something
Both
right, huh?
Both our guys.
Goal, number 7,
Muramoto didn't score that, but he definitely assisted.
He gets the assist, yeah.
We've seen that. If you're a Charger fan, you've seen that many times this year, that Muramoto to Ika.
Ika was kind of right in traffic, and he just kind of comes around, and you see how quick he can catch that and put it on frame.
He's got a quick release.
Yeah, he does.
Especially for a freshman, it's incredible.
Yep. So corner with the answer. 46 seconds left here, opening half, and we'll see.
See if Farmington can match
Yep.
that. Farmington needs this possession badly. And looks like they got it.
Dane's still battling there despite losing his stick. Farmington.
One thing I like about
didn't
both
touch that in.
both these face-off guys have a motor.
Didn't touch that in.
Failure. He didn't get it.
He
You're right.
skipped over the angle. He never touched that in the box.
Never got a foot in the box. You're right. Boy, what a mistake with 20 seconds. Now you give corner a chance to go up even further.
Here comes the Harris. Works to Muramoto.
Muramoto and Coates. There's the matchup.
Final 10. Kyson feeding in front. Couldn't get out of the way cleanly. And Coates with it.
Coates gobbles that one up.
Important stop there for Farmington.
And that'll be the end of the half.
Yep.
Wow.
First half complete. Corner Canyon leading Farmington 7-3 in the 6A semifinal from Dumke Field. Getting ready to start our second half. Corner Canyon 7-3, the lead over Farmington. Dane Stewart Chadwell's with you. We'll talk about that first half. We saw the physicality start to ramp up. Corner starting to separate themselves a little bit here.
They got a little bit of separation there at the end of the first half. The question is, will they keep it going in the second half, or are they going to rust a little bit? Hopefully they keep the pressure on if you're corner. But you know Farmington's going to come out with a lot of aggression here in the third quarter. They've got to.
It was a 4-1 second quarter in favor of the top-seeded Chargers as they win this face-off and set up their offense. Here's Muramoto, wind up, and
We've got a
goal.
Muramoto goal on that one. Once again, shot out way out top. Muramoto hops it off the ground, low shot. Harder for the goalies to track when the ball's coming from that far out.
Third goal for
Low.
Kyson Muramoto today. He scored in every frame, and you set him up straight away. He's going to finish those.
He got a hat trick.
Six scorers today for corner. Seen really good balance to the offensive attack of the Chargers.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of guys involved in offensive movement, which has been critical, where Farmington has struggled a little bit more to get the looks from multiple players.
Here comes Deanda.
Coming
He's got a little
downfield.
lane, looking for a bouncer that Fippen able to handle. Good stick checks there by corner to slow up that shot.
Yeah, a little bit of a trail check, gets on the ball, gets on the stick where he can't get velocity on that shot.
Couldn't clear it. Farmington back with it.
Farmington with a nice defensive set on that attempt at the clear by the Chargers.
Bynum working over. Milne. Lost his footing.
Milne's doubled up.
Farmington trying to stay with it. Milne has it.
Milne hustles well, gets the ball back. Nice job by him. Keep that ball alive for the Phoenix.
Here's Coates. That was wide. Farmington wins it. No. Fippen was closest to.
Wow, I thought that was backed up by Farmington on that
I
one.
thought Fippen actually conceded that too a little
I did
bit.
too. He kind of pulled up. He had been a little bit closer to the ball, though, when it was going out of bounds past the line. Remember, it's the person that's closest to the ball when it goes out. Maintains possession.
Here come the Chargers. Adamson.
Wheatley will pull it back out top. Over to King. Slowing it down, letting their offense transition back onto the field.
King has a goal, scored back in the first. Nice little roll there.
Rhett King, the younger brother of John King, who played here at corner, who's now at Penn State.
Yeah, and John is went from one of the top scorers in Utah history to D-Mitty, if I recall.
Yeah, he's playing D-Mitty now at Penn State, where he was attack at corner.
Yeah.
Doing a heck of a job in college.
He is. Dante playing this ahead. Fun to see kids from the state go play next level.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Of course, Mason Quick will be back up on the hill of the U next year. And King out at Penn State. A lot of kids playing club and
You got
D3.
Hawes out of Lone Peaks playing at Ohio State.
Yep.
A lot of kids playing D1, D2, and D3 around
Yeah.
the country.
It's awesome to see this game
Coming out of
grow and
Utah.
start to see kids have opportunities
Absolutely.
to go play collegiately. This kept here. This was Vashaw working back.
Josh Vashaw with it. He's a big, tall kid.
Yeah, trying to push here on free. Corners really started to seal away some of those dodges, haven't they? Oh, that hit off the pipe.
Oh, right off the tipped off the goalie off Mitch. Hits the top bar, crossbar.
Cover. No push.
That was kind of a funny deflection I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, ball will stay with the Phoenix.
Starting with Milne.
I think Milne's kind of due for a goal. He has not had one yet today, I've seen.
Yeah, he has not scored. 8.5 to go. Bynum has 2 today. Deanda, the other goal scorer for the Phoenix. Here is Charlie. Excuse me, that was Milne.
Mitchell Milne. Kai with it. Boy, you could tell he really wants to find something. He wants to find it back of that
This
net.
corner D really making it tough.
Oh, man, they were shutting down the lanes.
Last year it was the offense that was a difference in this game. This year it's been the defensive corner.
The defense is playing pretty stout.
They are playing very stout. Here come the Chargers. Adamson working up the sideline to free.
You know, the Chargers starting to look a lot more comfortable in the second half.
They are.
Got a little bit of a lead, 5-goal lead. They're kind of settling in. They look less stressed, less pressure. They've shifted the pressure to Farmington.
And it felt like that started to kind of swing that way in the second quarter, and
Late in
it's
the second.
continued.
Yeah, they've definitely taken some pressure off of this 5-goal lead. Now they're trying to settle in and just slowly grow it.
Muramoto. That's where it's a
Muramoto
very...
is just so quick.
Yeah. Trying to feed in front.
Oh.
Good save by Barris.
Great save by Barris. That was a beautiful feed inside by Muramoto.
Short distance shot for
To
Nielsen.
Nielsen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here
But
comes
Barris
more.
shut that down. He's tracking it well.
To the wing, and that was deflected by Adamson. How about this corner defense?
That
Adamson
corner
keeping it
defense,
in.
They're everywhere on this field right now.
That was a great opportunity for Farmington. They don't even get a shot on goal.
Wow, they sniffed that ball out quick, shut it down, and they're back in transition the other way. And, of course, it's back with O.J. Ika.
Had that goal late
All
in the
conference
half.
freshman.
Dutton works over.
Wheatley with it now.
Dutton trying to find a lane. Gives over. Wheatley, extra pass. That's off the mark.
A little bit off the mark. You know, Wheatley, he's a unique kid. He's a two-sport player. He's a pro skier.
Really?
He's a snow skier. Yeah, he is unbelievable. He's an unbelievable talent on skis. And so what I've heard, lacrosse, he's great at it, but it's his second love behind
Wow.
skiing.
If only there was a place you could go skiing in these neck of the woods, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no ski resorts around here that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's really tough. Moore here for Farmington. You know, it's interesting. There's a player for the Brighton girls who's a big skier as well. That's another sport that you see high schoolers get more competitive and active in.
Now, see, that was a heads-up play by Nielsen. Ren slowed it down, brought it back up. No reason to rush the shot. Just work a little clock off.
And this
Set up your offense.
This is where this team is different from prior corner teams that would have been score. This one's like, look, we got the game. We're controlling it. We
Let's
got
just
possession.
slow
We got a
down.
5.
Yeah.
There's no need, right? Like, we're okay here. Don't need to open this thing wide open.
There's no need to press and rush it and get a bad shot and give them a transition the other way. Stay with it, slow it down, bring it back out, set up your offense, and kill clock.
Of course, we've got our next 6A semi, Davis and Fremont. As this skipped across, shot. And that was a nice play there by Moore to deflect.
Oldroyd just couldn't finish that one. He was kind of up, jumping up to get that ball, just didn't get enough power on the shot.
Here comes Farmington. Jacobson works to Coates. Fremont Davis, that'll be part 3.
That's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Well, Davis has been great defensively this year, and Fremont has 2 60-goal scorers.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a game. Yeah, you know a little bit about those goal scorers on Fremont.
Yep.
I believe you got in cage recently.
Yeah, someone came up with that idea. That was an experience. You can go watch that on the X.
So share with the viewers, how hard is it to track the ball as a goalie? That shot speed.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
They're just like, it's like a laser coming at you,
yeah.
White laser.
And they were like a good 15 yards out, and they weren't even going full steam.
Yeah.
So here's Nielsen right back with it for corner. To the middle.
Oh, wow, what a play.
Cameron Craik, I believe.
That's, I think, goal number 2 by Craik.
Yep.
You know, the difference on that was the assist. The feed was quick. He saw it. He got the ball to the shooter. And then Craik was able to just finish that. You know, I tell you, those transition goals are tough. There's a lot of movement for that goalie. And as you saw tracking when you were out there getting target shots on you.
I shared this in the girls' semi. You know the thing that was most surprising to me about that? It wasn't even the speed of the shot, because I expected those to be quick. The thing that surprised me the most was how easy it was to not know where I was in the cage. Now, I know they spend a lot more time training that with goalies, but, like,
losing
your
track
positioning.
of your position.
Yeah. Because, like, coming out there, like, you know, that whole side was open. I was like, no, I didn't. Had no idea, you know. And again, that was my first time ever, but
no, it makes
how
sense.
easy it was to get kind of shifted. And
you know,
talk about transition, that ball moving. Like,
well, and then you had the helmet, too, which you know, hampers your view.
Yep. This is Milne.
It always amazes me how well the goalies track the ball and they're able to close the gap down because they know exactly where they are between the pipes.
Yep. Coates, a wind-up, Phippen there.
He ripped that one. That was not a bad look. He had some heat on that shot.
That one would have beat Dane. It doesn't beat Phippen. 3 to go.
You think I could score on you, Dane?
Yes.
I don't know.
Anyone could score on.
I don't know.
That's what we learned.
We might have to do that sometime.
You can take out revenge for all the
Go to
mean things
local
that
high
I've said
school,
about
put
you.
in the cage.
3 to go.
You're probably pretty safe with my shot. I don't think I had too much velocity on it.
Here's Dutton. He's had a good game today as well. Another youngster, freshman. Skips across.
Oh, that was a good look, but you know the defense closed down. Once again, Coates was right there.
Yep.
And here he is on a transition. Clear.
Nine 3 running out of room. How about the fight there of Nielsen? Wow.
Boy, look at the size differential.
Right. That was the first thing going through my mind, too.
Little Nielsen there just facing up against the big Goliath and says, I'm not taking that. Pushes him out of bounds, gets a turnover and the ball. I like the grit of that sophomore.
You want to talk about it's not always about size and strength. Sometimes it's just about effort and want.
Yeah, what do they say? It's not about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size
of the fight in the dog. Yep. Here's DeGracie. That deflected, captured here by
Good
Wallace.
Defensive play there by the Phoenix.
Been a quick third quarter.
Really quick. Like I said, I think there's only been one penalty in the whole game.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Levitt looking in front, has a man off the pipe.
Now that was a beautiful save. He was point blank on cage.
A great look. It wouldn't go down.
Oh, there's a trail check.
That was Deanda, but it trickles forward for Nielsen.
Great trail check. They just didn't come up with a loose ball.
And it's been some of those small plays that have been decidedly in Corner Canyon's favor, right? There have been some shots that Phippen has lost or he's gotten out of position. It's been off the pipe or high. Or Farmington hasn't had those breaks go their way, and Corner has executed really every opportunity they've had.
Yeah, it really feels like the breaks have definitely gone the way of Corner, and they're capitalizing on it.
Yep.
Thus, they've got a 6-goal lead here late in the third. There's
Quick
Ika.
step.
He sends that one high. Of course, the 3 or 4 deep holes collapsed on him and forced that shot up and over.
Just 1 goal today for OJ.
He's been a little quiet, but he's sure been dishing the ball out.
Yeah, he has. Still been engaged. Is that one lost? Trying to stay on it here.
Coach
Nielsen's everywhere right now, man. That 50.
He is just hustling.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled by his size. He has got some fight in him, and he's got
Good
some
dump
great movement.
off. Barris with a save.
Barris with an incredible save, point blank on the cage from the left side.
Here comes
transition. They got to hustle. They need to press a little bit more on these transitions and get some shots.
Final seconds. Levitt
5.
has it. They won't get a shot away.
No.
Third quarter complete. Corner has expanded their lead 9-3 as we head to the fourth quarter in the 6A semifinal. Start of the fourth, a 2-0 third quarter has the Chargers with their largest lead of the game, 9-3. Dane Stewart, Chadwell's with you. Been an impressive semi for Corner. It's really locked things down.
Corner's been slowly pulling away here in the third quarter. Danes and
Face-off
Jacobson going
win
at
for
it.
Danes. Ika trying to
Loses
maintain
the
it,
handle.
couldn't, yeah.
Tough defense.
Wallace able to come away with it. Long clear. That's tough.
Oh, wow. It slid past everybody on that
Did
one.
he touch that? Kept in play.
Push with possession. Ball will go to Farmington.
I was going to say it was smothered there.
You know, that's the other thing is Corner is swarming around the ball where Farmington needs to get some backup help more often, I think. Just a little bit more.
You know, the other thing is we talked about early, everything was kind of near the cage early for Farmington. Everything now kind of extended for Farmington.
Yeah,
isn't it?
the defense is pushing them out a little bit. They're definitely moving them out. They're riding them much farther out, which is good and bad, right? You get a kid with the wheels, he can get around that defender, and he's got an open lane to the goal.
High screen there, Bynum. Trying
Nice
to
pass
work
inside.
around. Couldn't get it away.
Will Perry comes up with it for the Chargers.
Clearing up through King. Good spacing here for the Chargers.
Yeah, King just looks really comfortable bringing it up
He
for them.
does, yep.
Now the offense is coming on. King will go back. Now the Chargers should be in no hurry here. You don't want to quit playing, but you're definitely not in a rush.
Yeah. You're
Clock is your friend.
10 and a half minutes away from returning to their fourth straight championship game.
Yeah, it's 4 straight. Quite impressive.
Shot hit off the post.
Off the post. He finds pipe.
The ringer there from Wheatley.
Wheatley
The effort
finds
will give it to
pipe.
Farmington.
Hustle to the side. The crowd didn't like that, but I think Farmington definitely had the edge.
Well, all your friends to the south disagreed. Like Charger faithful, they thought they were closest to.
Errant pass just gets away.
See, it all works out in the wash. It's okay.
It
You
works
got
out,
it
but
now.
I like the hustle. Farmington's starting to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Fans are getting a little vocal out here.
To Gracie with it. Bleachers filled out.
Definitely filled out.
We were over capacity for that 5A semi.
DeGracie's a freshman, number 23, and I
Yep.
told him, I said, you're wearing number 23 at corner. You're wearing Franskowiak's number.
No
You better
pressure.
no pressure, but you better represent.
Yeah.
You're following Blake's footsteps. You better show up.
18 goals as a freshman's not bad. Oh, nice little spin.
Muramoto. Oh. Now that was a pretty rollback. Rolls to the left, rolls back to the right, gets underneath his defender in front of the cage.
Kyson has scored in every quarter for Corner. 4 goals now for him.
That's impressive. That's a very clutch move by a lot of attackmen, is that roll right, come back left, or roll left, come back right. And he just got his defender's legs a little twisted up and was able to sneak underneath.
You know, one of the things coming into this game that I was really interested in was Corner, majority of their offense comes from 2 guys, Ika, Muramoto. If one of them gets taken away, can the other carry the load? The answer is yes, because we haven't seen the offensive goals from Ika. Muramoto has stepped in with, again, 4 of their 10.
Not only that, but you've got some other guys stepping up with goals today, too. So they've spread it around quite a bit.
Yeah, you've got a pair from Craik, the sophomore.
Yeah.
Only had 9 coming into this one.
Craik really stepping it up. It's kind of the next man up mentality, right?
Yep.
You just got to step up, fill the gap, and make things happen.
And when you talk about the youth, when they're showing that as freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah, number 6,
6A,
Ashton
I'm
Brown.
sorry.
6, Ashton Brown's sophomore.
Yep.
50's a sophomore. Nielsen, Like I said, the only senior on offense, I think, is Muramoto right now. Correction, Braden Larson is number 29. He's a senior, too.
Started by Brown.
But just 2 seniors right now on the field for corner. A lot of youth and a lot of guys learning and growing quickly in the roles.
Growing quickly.
Yep. Their future looks bright.
Current looks pretty bright, too. Here's Ika.
Yep, there's Ika.
Little lane. Boy, he looks twitchy, doesn't he?
He's
twitchy. I know he gives that up, but man, he's got some movement.
A little bit of youth there going into a double team in front of the cage, but you know what? I bet on him every game because he's quite a freshman. Look at this goalie coming out to midfield.
Yeah, Barris
not afraid to bring it down. He's all the way across.
Fippen did this in that first half. He took a shot. Barris will.
Offensive box.
Timeout.
What's this? Offsides?
Oh, yeah, offsides.
Offsides is the call. The goalie came over. No one saw him. No one thought to come back and replace him.
I'm just surprised because that went on for quite a while without that offside call.
And none of the wings kind of read it. No one moved to go across the midfield to allow him to come across without an offsides. Everyone just kind of, oh, here comes the goalie.
It's lost out. It'll go back to Farmington. 7.5 left.
You know, those goalies coming downfield, down the lane. You saw what happened once again, like we said, in the Park City Brighton game. Well, now, if you're the Phoenix, you got to feel a little more urgency on this offensive series.
Scored 2 in the first quarter, 1 in the second. Haven't scored in the second half.
Yep. That was a little deep. Benyon was way out. He had a one-on-one matchup. It was, I think, a long pull. I don't think he had a shorty on him, so.
Here's a wind-up.
Another rip.
There.
Kai with another rip. He actually is the leading scorer for the Phoenix this year.
Yep. Has 2 goals today.
Looking for his hat trick.
A flag here on the play.
Down. So offsides on the Phoenix. So they'll bring the seventh man over. Now you want to press the ball. You got an offsides, you got to stay on it. Remember, there's no shot clock, so they can just burn the heck out of the clock.
6.5 to go.
You know, that's basically a goal a minute coming down the stretch.
Tough to do. Well, it's over that at this point. Tough to do against corner.
Yep, you got to pressure that ball. You got to double it.
Not deflected, but possession maintained by corner, so we play on. Got to have possession for that stoppage.
Phoenix got to get some more pressure on that ball with 7 men on the field.
Wheatley.
Wheatley's just going to pull it out and say, come to me.
Why not?
You want it? Come get it.
6 to go. A shot and goal.
Wheatley with a rollback on the defender. Takes a long, deep shot.
His second of the game, and that's one where the stick is there, but there's just kind of bodying it up and allow the lane for him to get around and get a shot away.
That tall deep pull could have been a little more aggressive, but you also want to make sure you don't get burned, right?
Right.
By the player. So he's giving a little bit of space, but there's a shot, like I was saying, so far out by Wheatley, the goalie may be shaded and not see it coming until it's already on its way, or he may not see it coming out of the stick. Hard to react to that.
On the ground, Danes collects.
You know, that Danes has quite a motor. He is just no quit. I love that in Fogo.
He has settled in too. I think early Farmington was winning some of those. It started to get one-sided here in this second half.
Yes, Danes has settled in. He looks a lot more comfortable out there in the face-offs.
Oldroyd.
Well, and here's where your shot clock in college makes it such a different game because you're forced to be aggressive. High school, you can still sit back and kind of just chew clock, slowly work on your offense, which corner is doing.
Oldroyd.
It's going to force the Phoenix to take a few more risks on defense and to really start to challenge as it gets almost under 5 minutes.
We're just ringing around the rosy here, and a lot of room for corner to continue this perimeter pass.
Corner in no hurry. You're just waiting for the Phoenix to come out and start pressing. That's when your lanes really start to open up.
Everything spread out for the Chargers.
Chargers staying spread, staying relaxed.
Larson gives to Ika. OJ, the shot saved by Barris.
Barris with a great save.
Battling
That's
here
goalie
near the
interference.
crease.
He was in the crease, I think, on that too.
Yeah. Farmington looking to clear.
Farmington needs a goal desperately at this point. Got to get the clear first.
Over with Coates.
They better get it across and box it. They're going to run out of time.
I think we have a timeout. Farmington
Smart
recognized.
timeout.
Yep, they're
Very
running out of
smart.
time. They take it.
They almost got a failure to advance there, so that coach
Yep.
clutch timeout there.
4 to go here in the 6A semi. Corner King with a comfortable lead. Farmington possession.
Ika and Muramoto will double the ball, looks like, coming out of the timeout.
Doing just that. Has to
Wow.
send it back.
Good pressure there.
They have forced a lot of those long outlets today, and it's ended up just like that.
Yeah. It's kind of a 50-50 ball.
You hear about winning the midfield in lacrosse. This game's been a great demonstration of what that can do for you because it's been advantage
The
Corner Canyon.
mid-third has been critical today.
Yep.
You're right. Getting those clears or denying clears has just been a game changer. Today especially. The Phoenix struggling in the second half to get that ball down on offense. And as you know, possession, you got it possessed.
We've had a couple failures to advance, a couple turnovers because of urgency to advance. It's just been problematic for the Phoenix in the second half.
Now the Chargers are just killing clock.
Yep.
They're spread out.
Here's King. He was first team all-region as well as a sophomore. One of those 8 Chargers. Good dump off. Muramoto just wide.
Muramoto just wide.
It's a good look.
6 inches outside the left pipe.
Three to go.
Sorensen with it now. He's a quick, shifty junior.
How about a little 10-man here as Barris out of the cage?
You're right. Working on defensive right. Well, you got to press. Muramoto's looking. Feeds it inside. Oh, high pass. Will it stay in?
Won't
It's
stay in.
out of bounds.
Oh, yeah, Ika.
Yeah, I thought it was on the
foot.
line.
Yeah, I thought the foot hit the
Foot
line.
caught it.
But
Good
he
effort.
closed that gap quickly. I didn't think he had any shot at it.
It's got a little bit of a afterburner there.
Yeah. Deanda scored the first goal of the game. It was 1-0 Farmington.
Do a nice spin move. You got to press. If you're Farmington, you got to go. You got to go.
2:15, slippage again.
Boy, there's been a lot of no calls in this game.
Yeah. Bynan. Talked about it in that 5A game. They've let them play, and they've done so again here.
Yeah, they've been consistent.
Oh, Fippen again.
Pippen is on fire today.
That one a little bit of a rise on the shot. Could have lifted
That
it
was
just
a very
touch
good
more,
low to
but
high.
it was.
I like that low to high there on the spin. Great
Again,
look from Farmington. It just didn't go in.
Corner has not given up a goal in the second half. And a timeout taken here. 11-3, Corner set to advance once again to the 6A championship. 1:45 to go. Corner with it.
Goalie's out once again. Open net. Obviously, you don't want to take a shot unless it's 100% given, but you just want to kill clock.
Yeah, Muramoto here. possessing.
Showing good discipline.
Working against Wallace.
Wallace just got to swallow him up with that long pole. He's on the line, out of bounds. Good
Yep.
pressure from the D.
Farmington possession here, just over a minute to go. Talk about some of the youth of Corner Canyon. There's a lot of seniors on this Farmington roster, including both the Coats. And see if they can get maybe a last
they're
opportunity.
going to have quite a different looking team next year. Chance to see what they can bring together.
They still have some guys coming back. Bynum as a freshman, he was their top scorer this year. Barris is a sophomore between the pipes.
Yeah, and Coach Taylor will pull a good squad together
Yeah.
again next year.
Yeah.
This program has really turned the corner.
But you talk about like a Kai Levitt, he's a senior. Guile, he's a senior. There's plenty of them.
But second year in a row in the state semis, they've really come on strong as a program.
They have. And Fremont will graduate some players. That Region 1 will continue to, I think, be competitive, and Farmington will still have a shot next year at it.
I think the youngest team is really Corner Canyon going into next year.
Yeah, they probably are.
Boy, that great defensive play. There's a trip, flag. Well, we got a flag.
Oh, boy.
Well, that was a tough hit.
We'll get the stoppage here with 4 seconds left.
What a trail check by Rhett King.
That
Sending a little bit of a yard sale on that one.
that was a big windup.
Big
by
wind
Rhett.
up. He's lucky he got stick, otherwise he'd be in the penalty box.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty aggressive.
Of course, with just 4 seconds left.
Inconsequential at this point,
Yep.
but, fighting to the end.
30 seconds for a push.
This Charger team definitely has a lot of fight in them, which is propelling them on to the championship game.
Dom will start it. Deanda, another one of those seniors for Farmington. Final seconds coming off. Coates' last shot is wide, and that'll do it. Corner Canyon 11-3, returning to a 6A championship game. Chad, your final thoughts and a selection of a player of the game.
If you're my player of the game, definitely from Corner Canyon is Kyson Muramoto. He just was relentless, shooting on the goal, scoring. He was everywhere on the field, making assists, making plays. And then I give my grade out to Farmington, Dante Coates. Defensive threat on the field, played extremely well, never quit on the ball. Took the ball away there in the last minute of the game to give him even another shot to try to score.
Yeah.
He just had no quit attitude.
He was great against one of the top scorers in the state. Limited O.J. Ika just the one goal. Muramoto had the 4 in the 11-3 win for Corner Canyon. The Chargers return to a 6A championship. They'll take on the winner of our next semifinal, Davis Fremont. That game will be at 4 o'clock. You can watch it live here on KSLSports.com. For Tino Psyche, Chad Wells, my name is Dane Stewart. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on KSL Sports Rewind.